よろしくね。ジュリー・フライシャーよ。
ジュリー、かわいい。決めてくぜ。
急な信号の発信地点まで距離がある。
EX Troopers from Capcom is the third game in the always experimental Lost Planet series. I call it experimental because they've never really quite had the same gameplay. There's always been some minor changes in the gameplay. Lost Planet 1 had some very interesting shooting for its time and some really popular multiplayer as well. Lost Planet 2, they kind of changed it a bit. They switched the focus to give it a bit more like a co-op multiplayer game, and had a focus on large boss fights, sort of like Monster Hunter. And then of course there's the upcoming Lost Planet 3 that looks more like a clone of other modern cover-based third-person shooters, but hopefully they've got some tricks up their sleeve to make that game unique and interesting as well. Now, Capcom usually makes games with a more Western style, which is why they probably have no plans to localize EX Troopers. But to be fair, EX Troopers is a super Japanese game. I mean, between the art style, the characters and the high school setting, and of course the loud Japanese music playing in the background, it is not a game that might be for everyone. But I certainly think it's a very interesting game and a really a welcome addition to the Lost Planet franchise.
やっぱり待ち構えていたわね。
これが紅族ってやつか。
手強いわよ。注意して。
Now the story follows the energetic Brent Turner, who arrives at the Nevek High School Academy on EDN 3. Inbound to the planet, his transport comes under attack, and fate will have it that he ends up piloting the prototype vitality suit Ginkera, which is outfitted with an AI.
貴様の指先に皆の命がかかっている。覚悟を決めろよ。
了解、教官。
撃て、
目標ロックオン。
間に合わん。ギンゲラ、手。逃がさん。
間もなく有効射程に入ります。ロックオン。
In the typical Japanese high school RPG fashion, it is all about making tons of friends. Not only does Brent become close friends with the timid Luan Forrest and the cute Julie Fleischer, but there are tons of other interesting people to meet on the planet, like the teacher Diana Highline, which seems to be inspired off Sharon Stone's character in Basic Instinct. Gameplay-wise, it's a pretty basic third-person shooter. It's somewhat simplified compared to Lost Planet 1 and 2, but I think that makes for a more easygoing and relaxing experience. The game controls are pretty simple. You can lock onto enemies by pressing the R1 button. Then you can fire your primary weapon at them using the square button, or use the secondary weapon by pressing the triangle button. You also have a melee attack on the circle button and a dash on the X button. Now if you dash around enemies just as they are about to hit you with their attack, you can get around them and then do an attack that causes extra damage. Now while you don't have to keep track of ammunition for your weapons, you still have the thermal energy resource, which was also present in the other Lost Planet games. When enemies are killed or damaged, they drop these orange blob of thermal energy, and when you pick that up you can use it to replenish your health. You're also gradually building an EX gauge, which when full allows you to perform a special EX attack, which can take out multiple enemies at once if you land it just right.
望みは純粋なんだけどな。
As you kill enemies, they sometimes drop ingredients used for weapons upgrades, and if you talk to people around the base, they will sometimes give you drawings for new kinds of weapons you can build and expand your arsenal. Completing missions and bonus objectives also earn you medals, which are used to unlock bonus content such as soundtrack or new costumes for the characters. Apart from the main story missions in the game, there's also a virtual reality area where you have access to a bunch of VR missions that you can grind away in to earn some extra money, extra experience, or just some extra items. This is also where you can access the game's multiplayer, which offers both cooperative and competitive styles of play with characters you have unlocked through story progression. Unfortunately, I wasn't really able to find anyone to actually play with, but that might be some sort of regional setting or something that I can't really figure out how to set up properly.
じゃないやイラつくいってえなこの石頭可愛い子ちゃんが噂してるのかもで先輩君は何勉強雪族の言葉を覚えているんだ
As you've seen by now, the game is of course in 100% Japanese. But even if you're like me who doesn't speak any Japanese at all, you'll find that the game is extremely easy to follow, mostly in part because of the visual style. The missions are somewhat linear, and they're always like a small icon on your minimap telling you where to go, or a big arrow pointing you in the right direction. The animated nature of the characters also made it extremely easy to figure out what was going on in the cutscenes, and I think I've gotten most major plot points down in the game so far. The only thing I haven't really been able to figure out was the bonus objectives for some of the missions and the bonuses you get from eating food in the game. But apart from that, there's absolutely no reason not to import EX Troopers. It's a fantastic game, great fun to play, really striking art style, and I think everyone should check it out.